Hey there everybody, how you doing? I am Francis and welcome back to Quartz Party Book of Shadows. Last episode we began a prologue and we just entered the Shinozaki Estate that appeared out of nowhere after we got lost in the woods for a little bit. So we have a few questions and we're not leaving until we get answers to those questions like how come Naho and Kimbiki are still remembered where our four friends were forgotten when they died in Heavenly Host. There's some shenanigans going on and we want answers and that's why we came here. And I'm guessing just like Heavenly Host, we do have multiple rooms. Wow. Yeah, we do, but wow, quite a layout. So we have a kitchen, some halls, a living room, mystery room, some stairs, and we're at the entrance right now. Alright, well, I guess we'll poke around here. There's some interactables, like first thing that comes to mind is this mirror. This mirror frightens me. I'd rather not look into it at all if I can help it. Oh, okay, we won't look in a mirror then. Why not? Well, a mirror is an object that people peer into, and over time, their thoughts and feelings can burn themselves into the glass. It's very common. Really, this is very common, yet I never heard of this happening before. Now you mention it, I guess mirrors do kind of make me feel like I'm being watched, even though I know it's just me in there. That wasn't me and Nakashima I saw just now. It looked like Sachiko and Shinohara. Shinohara. That's Mayu, right? Maybe it was just my imagination. I hope it was. Alright, well, there's that. Let's look at the door. The door isn't locked, nor is it sealed shut like in the school, but it still won't open. There seems to be something heavy blocking it from the other side. Well, maybe we can enter from the other side. I mean, why not, right? Alright. A portrait? An old picture frame, but the glass is broken and there's no picture inside. Well, I'm guessing whatever picture was in that frame was stolen. What with this picture here? A landscape painting of a lake somewhere. It's hard to tell in this light, but it looks almost like the lake's surface is comprised entirely of outstretched hands reaching up from below. Well, that is terrifying. It couldn't be much more unsettling. Yeah, wanna bet? Oh, there's a lot of garbage on the floor. Oh, hello. I can interact with this box. Ah! The shoe shelves are full of ew! And each one of them, without exception, has had its stomach dug up. Ew! Maybe they ate each other. Hopefully they ate each other. Okay, well that is disturbing. What's this? A bunch of litter and papers and whatnot? The staircase is very plain, and the stairs themselves are exceptionally steep. They're also quite old and seem to have absorbed a good deal of moisture, so it would be best to take care when climbing them. Okay, I'll do just that. Hello, window. The glass is thoroughly clouded over, making it impossible to see inside. In addition, the window has no handles or grips of any kind, suggesting it was never meant to be opened. Okay, the Shinozaki Estate is just as terrifying, if not more terrifying than the Cursed School building. I think they're connected though, because one is, sealed up in between closed spaces, and this one just sort of comes and goes. A couple framed photographs of Sachiko here, dressed in a formal kimono. It looks like they were taken during the Shinto Shichi Gosen Festival, where children of ages 7, 5, and 3 gather to pray for luck and longevity. A small plaque is placed below them with embossed letters that read, Sachiko just before her 7th birthday. Best wishes for a long, happy life. Oh, the irony there, since we know what happened to her. There's this hole up here, but it's not an interactable thing. Yeah, okay, it's the same as down here. Alright, well, I guess we'll start with the WC. Okay, I didn't say to go to the bathroom, but I guess we did. It's a Japanese-style floor toilet. Every part of it is discreetly filthy, and there are spider webs strung up all along the inside. Gross. There's blood on the floor here. It's old and dried out, thankfully, but you do have to wonder why nobody would have bothered wiping it up. Maybe because they were dying? Oh wait, no, but the Shinozaki family didn't die in the estate, they died in the school. Good point. Hello, sink. The drain is packed tightly with what look to be thousands of bodies of unidentifiable insects. Creepy. Creepy, creepy, creepy. Oh, hello. The window is located surprisingly high up along the wall, revealing only a view of the night sky. Anything inside? No. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to the bath then. Okay, so the WC is part of the bathroom. Alright, understood. So this section of the room is just the bath section. Got it, okay. I'm no longer confused, I understand. This window seems to be facing the moon right now and is letting in a surprising amount of ambient light. Wow, that wall is in really bad shape, and out there the walls look, you know, in better condition kinda. It's an old-fashioned wooden bathtub cover. It looks extremely brittle and has rotted through completely, sporting numerous holes and missing or warped beams. Well, okay. It's an old soaking tub with a water heater feeding into it. The heater is currently broken and the tub is half filled with green, stagnant water and bugs. You don't want to go in that water, ew. Ah! Don't look into the water! Why, is somebody in there? Yoshi and Sachiko aren't the only spirits in here. This place was also used as a psychiatric clinic, so we may have to contend with old patients as well. Okay, that's concerning. Now I understand why people didn't want to come here and why we were advised not to come here. I kind of want to look though. Okay, I can't. Okay, I guess I'll take Ayumi's word for it and not take a look. Alright, let's go to the stairs, I guess. These stairs sure don't feel safe. Ah! Ow! Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. The floorboards here are pretty well rotted through though. So be really careful. Best to hang onto the wall for leverage as you go. Alright. It's so weird. This is a house that shouldn't even exist. But we can touch everything. We can pick it all up. It's all real. I seem to recall reading about cases before where the house itself is literally just a spiritual echo. But this seems totally different. Yeah, it's no echo. That's for sure. Nothing intractable at all on the stairs. Okay, I guess, we're gonna start with the bedroom, I guess. Well, we're in the hall. I can't do much in the hall. Alright. Yeah, we'll start with the bedroom. Let's go. Oh, boy. This appears to be a bedroom. The sliding door to the closet is off its tracks, however, and a dresser has been knocked over. The floor is littered with junk, including a desk lamp and numerous bottles with unknown contents, and the closet is packed with old beat-up boxes. This room also seems suspiciously noisy, with creaks and bangs and pops audible throughout. Rapping at my chamber door. Go! Dad! Mom! Mom! Are you okay, Ayumi? The quest rep began calling out for her parents, totally out of the blue. I had no idea what was going on. I think she hears the voices of her parents. Which I think Ayumi's parents are... I think Ayumi's parents are dead, right? Like, we weren't really told about them. We just know that she has an older sister who is also into occult stuff. Sorry, did I say something? You were calling out to your parents. She was grabbing her head in both hands, and her face was white as a sheet. She must have been a target of spiritual possession again, like in Heavenly Host. How do you know about that, Naomi? When Ayumi got possessed, the only person that was there was Yoshiki. And in a timeline we just played, Mayu was also there. Fortunately, she seemed to have been ready for it this time and was able to collect herself in short order. And when she did, our search resumed. Oh boy. Alright, well, that's a thing. I'm gonna save here. So all 4 sections of a room are all the same room. Alright, interesting. some sort of stain on the back wall of the closet. I thought that was a ladder for a moment. It kind of looks like it's in the shape of a person, but that's totally just an optical illusion, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. A Japanese-style sliding screen, or fusuma. There's a crude crayon drawing visible on it. Did Sachiko do this? Is this Sachiko's room? It's very abstract, and it looks like something a happy, well-adjusted little kid would draw. Not at all disturbing like the pictures in Heavenly Host. Well, she wasn't really disturbing, until she died. Or at least her mother died. Alright? For some reason, the wooden dresser won't budge even the slightest bit. It's as if it were made of solid steel. Interesting. Okay, those are basically the same thing. Alright. I guess there's nothing else in here. Alrighty then. I can't go to the mystery room. I guess we'll go to the hall. Oh, this is the hall we just came from. There's literally nothing at all here. Alright, let's go to this bedroom. This particular bedroom looks like it's been converted into a study. Seems out of place considering the family whose study was it. Interesting questions. One of his right legs are bent beyond repair, and there's a thick layer of dust piled on top of it. No one's been sitting here for a long time though. Right. The desk is piled high with dust, but the items situated on it are neat and tidy. Whoever used it was very organized. I'm guessing Yoshi, because it's kind of giving me vibes of the infirmary, like that room, like the desk was well organized, right? And it looks kind of good too, because like the lamp, the flickering lamp and a book on a desk. Yeah, it looks totally like it. Right in the middle of the desk sits a lone key, completely covered in dry blood. Take it? Well, yeah, sure. We're gonna need it to do a full study, Wait, do you hear something? It sounded like footsteps echoing through the wooden frame of the house. Specifically, like someone with leather shoes walking around on the first floor. As long as they stay on the first floor, we're fine. The Crest rep and I looked at one another and shuddered. After a moment, the footsteps then began loudly stomping up the stairs. Uh-oh. We gotta hide somewhere! It's coming towards us! I'm going to save. That's my cue to save. It's coming towards us! We have to hide! Where do we hide, though? We scrambled against the wall of the room, leaving the door ever so slightly ajar so we could survey the staircase. Eh? Yeah! There really is something in here with us. Something walking around the halls. God, I can't take this anymore! The constant, unrelenting pressure of the search was beginning to take its toll on me. The Crest rep, sensing my agitation, took my hand in hers. Keep it together, Nakashima. Stay strong. Remember, Heavenly Host? If we allow these hosts to form in our hearts, we'll just fall prey to the darkening. Yeah, same rules apply here. You're right. Thank you. Okay, I guess we're safe now. We still don't know whatever that was. Well, it was worth a shot. Okay. No longer anything of interest on a desk. What about these books? Nope, okay, they're not interesting apparently. Ooh, what's this? Bookshelf is full of old books that have been thoroughly wrecked with age. Every one of them is yellowed, musty, and falling apart. Girl, take better care of your books, please. Alright, well, I guess that's all there is here. So I didn't need to save here. We were good all along. Good to know. Alright, let's go into the next bedroom. The door is locked. Well, we have that key we can use. There are photos of Sachiko all over the room. Virtually everywhere there was space for them. Her mother clearly held her very dear. Ah, this is Yoshi's room. A tiny kimono in a box sized for a young girl. That's Sachiko's. The style looks similar to the ones worn in the Shichigo-san festival. which would make this Sachiko's for sure. Yeah, we saw the picture of her wearing that. Pictures of Sachiko are sprawled all across the surface of the desk. However, just like so many objects in Heavenly Host, they were fixed to its surface as if they were a mere decoration. They can't be picked up or even moved. God damn it. Coming here was a mistake, I tell ya. Cobweb. So many cobwebs. Ugh. Hello. Picture after picture, each depicting some happy moment in the Shinozaki family's life. Yoshi's overwhelming love of Sachiko came through in every shot. What is this all about? Oh. Well, we don't know much about Sachiko's father. Why was his face blacked out, I wondered. The photographs depicting the Shinozaki woman were all fine, but those that showed Sachiko with both her parents were all a bit different. I don't think Sachiko liked her father that much. In each one of them, the man who was presumably Yoshi's husband had his face completely blacked out with a ballpoint pen. That has to be Sachiko's dad, right? But why? Looking around the room, it really was every single photograph that depicted this man. His face was inked out in literally every picture. Yeah, but why? Okay! Nakashima, look up there! Oh, isn't that? Perched high off the ground, a traditional household shrine was affixed to the wall, and within it was an easily recognizable paper doll. That's where the charms came from. An offering, I guess. It's enshrined alongside a mirror imitating the shape of Yata no Kagami. This must be the doll that Naho brought back with her. Apparently, the quest of parting in Heavenly Host with her former role model, Naho, had not been a pleasant one. She looked momentarily distraught. In front of the enshrined doll, there was a square sheet of yellow paper containing hand-inked instructions performing an all-too-familiar ritual. Yeah, the one we performed to get to Heavenly Host. Spirit in the Ever After, to confer a dying land upon an offering, one shall meditate upon his or her name. Please must be spoken in silence a number of times, equal to all transgressors, plus the offering. An avatar for the offering must then be torn and split equally amongst the transgressors. If performed correctly, the offering desired location shall become the land in which he or she dies. This was the original form of the Sachiko Ever After ritual. So did Yoshi use Sachiko as an offering in order to make Heavenly Host the land of her death? That's not possible because Yoshi died first. Like, my understanding is that the principal raped and killed Sachiko's mother. Sachiko saw the incident and the principal snapped and killed Sachiko because of that. This would have had to happen while she was still alive, but why? What was she hoping to accomplish? I'm confused now! Like, I just explained to you that my understanding after playing the original Corpse Party. So what's this now? It appeared to be an embedded wall safe with a circular padlock with a panel of buttons comprised of the digits 0 through 9. Let me see. This looks almost like some kind of vault, doesn't it? That's because it is a vault. We tried pressing buttons at random in hopes of opening the lock by pure chance, but that didn't do a thing. Yeah, we're not just gonna get in through dumb luck, you know. Following the spin clockwise indicator etched into the steel safe, we tried spinning the lock itself as well, but had no luck doing that either. In fact, as soon as the lock made one full rotation, all the buttons we pressed in suddenly popped back out. That tells me we did something wrong. So we're dealing with a combination lock safe surrounded by photos of Sachiko from when she was still alive. If Yoshi's the one who set the combination, it's probably safe to assume it has something to do with Sachiko. You know, you're absolutely right. It must be something really simple. Whoever used this safe would have chosen something they wouldn't forget, right? Is the combination possibly Sachiko's birthday? Well, that doesn't help me. What is Sachiko's birthday? The question is, what would that something be? We tried a handful of different combinations based on Pomnirums, rhythms, and the like. But every time we just spin the lock, hear a metallic quonk, and watch as the numbers reset themselves. Sachiko, come on, think! We made it back from Heavenly Host Elementary alive, so there must be some tidbit of knowledge we can use. What have we actually learned about Sachiko though? Number-wise, that is. All I could come up with was an approximate height, and that didn't work. What was it that plaque in the stairwell said? Sachiko, just before her 7th birthday. The kimono she was wearing in the picture was an exact match for the one we found in the box in the middle of this room. It seemed as if Yoshi were really fixated on Sachiko turning 7. So what about just the number 7 by itself? It was a long shot, but... Hey, I got it! Wow, nice job there, Nakashima. The area of the wall all around the safe opened up like a secret door, with the combination lock holding in place and serving as a doorknob. Oh boy. Beyond the tiny door, a door so small that we had to crawl to fit through it, was a long staircase stretched down into a hidden underground room. Why does it always gotta be hidden and underground? Spider webs. And the dust here is really thick. Hey, come on! I want to see too! Is it some kind of storehouse maybe? I tried to get a better look at what we were crawling into, but the stairs went so far down that even with the flashlight, it was just too dark. So this is a hidden passageway that shouldn't exist, inside a building that shouldn't exist. I think the danger level has reached its peak here. Oh, I don't think so. Danger level's about to go up tenfold, I feel like. It feels like we're standing at the entrance to some realm that's not even part of this world. I think that's the case. I'm thinking once we stepped into the building disappeared from our reality again, and we're in some our reality now. The quest rep looked me right in the eye. I was scared, but I knew exactly what she was going to say. She didn't need to speak a single word. Even if all that awaited us down here was an unimaginably horrific end, we were standing at the source of the answers we so desperately sought. We were poised to uncover the truth behind the curse of Sachiko Shinozaki. This was the gate to a new world. If we turned back, we'd regret it for the rest of our lives. So the two of us just looked one another in the eye and nodded. We were ready to descend the staircase into whatever abyss lurked below. I don't think even Naho made it this far, so be careful, Nakashima. Stay alert and focused down there, no matter what happens. She began descending the stairs ahead of me, but stopped and looked back after only a few steps to issue me this one last warning. I nodded again. Ah! It's those footsteps again. There really is something else in here with us, wandering around, and it sounds like it's on the 2nd floor. Uh-oh. They were extremely close. It sounded as if they were poised just outside the door to Yoshi's room. A few feet away. Nakashima, down the staircase, hurry. Okay. Oh boy, where are we going? And so the two of us fled through the secret door and down the stairs. No more hesitation. The wooden steps creaked and groaned beneath us, even more than the ones from the main stairwell. It felt like they might fall apart at any moment. We took it one step at a time, swallowing our fear and just pushing onward until eventually, finally, we arrived in a small, damp, musty room underground. Oh, good. Are you alright? There's a lot of junk on the ground here, so be careful where you can. Okay. There was no light down here with us whatsoever, save for the quest rep's shaky flashlight beam. And all that being revealed was a mess of books and clutter. With a twist of the wrist, it then shone upon a desk containing a chaotic mountain of books, loose leaf notes, documents, and assorted beakers and flasks. It looked like some mad scientist had done research and conducted all manner of untold experiments down here. What's that? It looks like someone's family tree. The quest rep shot over toward a desk farther in, her interest piqued by a glimpse of a large document spread out on its surface. I followed her lead. Ah! You need light too, don't you? Sorry. There's a desk over there with saw blades and other sharp tools on it. So it's kind of dangerous. Stay where you are. Alright. Genealogy chart. Gifted line. It really is a family tree, but what does it mean by gifted? Shinozaki, Mifune, Shimahara, Mita, Nagao. Oh, I recognize some of these names. That's right, it's not necessarily a lie. There were many individuals born in the closing days of the Meiji Pyramid who possessed remarkable powers. These people achieved fame for their thoughtography, abilities, and psychic talents. Prior to the so-called Senrijin Jiken, or clairvoyant controversy, Shizuku Mifune and Ikuko Nagao were particularly noteworthy figures at the time, and whether their abilities were real or not is beside the point. What matters is that even after the scientific community discredited such abilities, the truly gifted continued exploring them anyway, often in secret. Oh. So if they're the gifted line, does that mean Yoshi and Sachiko were descended from those famous clairvoyants? It sure seemed that way, and from the looks of it, the Shinozaki line was never blessed with male heirs either. It's a matrilineal house that passed his blood and family name down from mother to daughter, generation after generation, through adopted son-in-laws. I was certain if I traced this family tree far enough, I'd find the names Yoshi and Sachiko. Did we? Oh, there they are! And just like everyone before her, Yoshi had married a man who had been adopted into the family in order to keep the Shinozaki name. Looks like the root of the tree is this person named Sira. And Yoshi's mother's name is Raki. She was the eldest daughter in her family and had no brothers. So that makes Yoshi a thoroughbred, direct, unfiltered descendant of Sira. I guess it stands to reason then that she'd have so much power and influence even as a spirit. The rapping is getting pretty loud in here. All of these adoptive fathers who continued the family line died suddenly after their children were born. It seemed without even one single exception. It's like the family line had a mind of its own, and went to great lengths to eliminate the blood of other lines once it had served its purpose. These are men who were willing to give up their own birthrights and take another's name for the sake of love. It must have been hard on the Shinozaki woman. Daddy's not breathing. No, darling, no. I suppose this was a fate that just couldn't be averted. Huh? Such a strong spiritual influence. Kane Shinozaki! Hirohito Evedo! That's my grandmother, my grandfather, and my dad! I remember hearing that my grandfather was adopted into my grandmother's family and passed away shortly after my dad was born. The head of the family had 3 daughters, and Grandma Kane is descended from the youngest. I thought it was creepy enough just having the same last name, but to think my family is actually from the same lineage as Yoshi and Sachiko? Am I gifted then? What does that even mean? Well, I think you are gifted because you were kind of easy pickings for our spirits to possess you. Hey, did you find something? It's pitch black and really creepy just standing here, you know. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll be right there. In fact, fire hazard or not, how about I lend you one of my candles? Hey, there's an idea. The quest rep had an old, oversized sheet of paper in her hand and was shaking wildly. Did she find some crucial piece of information, I wondered? She found out something about her family. Book of Shadows. Roll credits! Ah! Quest rep? Are you okay? It hurts. My head feels like it's being crushed in a vice. Ah! No, stop this. Keep it together. She suddenly turned toward one corner of the room and froze completely, gazing intently at the wall. Her eyes became wide as saucers. She was like a cat who'd stiffled up and just kept staring into thin air, on high alert for no discernible reason. And just as cat owners are often left wondering what their pets are seeing, I too wonder if she was looking at something or had heard a noise maybe or something. I was worried about her, but really, I was more scared than anything. I grabbed her and tried to shake her out of this trance. Come on, Ayumi. Come through. Quest rep, what's wrong? But she brushed me off and held up a hand as if to say, hold it right there. She then began walking slowly toward the corner she'd been watching. Is Ayumi possessed again? There didn't seem to be anything special about it. It looked no different from anything else in the room. It was just an ordinary wall. For a few minutes longer, the quest rep just stood there, gazing at this empty space. Then, with no explanation, she began tearing away loose boards. Ayumi, are you alright, woman? It wasn't difficult to do. The entire room was old and in tremendous disrepair, and the wood was quite thoroughly rotted. Each board came off easily. Eventually, small gaps began to form. She stuck her fingers into these and pulled, yanking away whole chunks of wall, forming bigger and bigger crevices. These crevices then finally merged into one big gaping hole, through which a hidden subroom no bigger than a closet had been fully exposed. Is that the Book of Shadows? And within that subroom sat a thick, dark tome. Is that the Book of Shadows? Is this the book we are reading? It's the Book of Shadows. Yep, it is. Why is this in Japan? What's going on? What's the Book of Shadows? The Book of Shadows is a game that we're playing, Naomi, and you're part of it. Whatever it was clearly a very old book. And it didn't look like it was bound from paper. No, it's bound by blood. Blood of people who died in Heavenly Host. There were small ornamental patterns sewn into it, and which had a certain disconcerting quality about them. In addition, a liquid that looked much as though like blood, as it did ink, had pooled into multi-hued stains all across the lip of the front cover. And that grotesque form was already unpleasant looking enough to begin with. There's no mistaking it. These pages were made from human skin and animal hide. This is, without a doubt, the Book of Shadows. Wow, a whole book made out of human skin. Imagine how many people had to be skinned alive to make this book. Sis told me about it. It's a dark tome with a long history wrought in blood, passed down from generation to generation in secret. It dates back to the tumultuous days of the witch hunts that occurred at the end of the Middle Ages, primarily in Europe. Witch hunts? Yeah, mass paranoia led to the indiscriminate percussions and slaughter of as many as 40,000 people. They were suspected of practicing black magic by making pacts with the devil. So the churches and local communities brought them to trial, where they were almost always subjected to horrible torture and eventually executed, usually in really cruel ways. People began blaming them for natural disasters, poverty, and other unfortunate realities of life. And influential individuals used them as scapegoats. The vast majority of those killed were just innocent victims of circumstance and happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But there were a few. There were a few gifted people among them who had legitimately mastered the practical use of magic. Gifted people? And what do you mean, practice use of magic? Are you talking like witches flying around on brooms and stuff? That's impossible. Nothing's impossible, dear child. It is hard to believe, isn't it? But I want you to know everything about this, Ayumi. About the things in this world that science can't quite explain. About the paranormal. I'm already familiar with your studies though. You taught me the laws of the natural world. And that the true nature of magic is prayer. It makes sense too. It's very easy to understand how powers like that would work. But anything more than that, like flying around on brooms and stuff, just seems like fantasy to me. And I'm pretty sure that's what Mom and Dad must have thought too, when I told them I was interested in Wicca to them. Though there are also the Shinozaki family roots to consider. But that's a long story, so how about we save it for another time? Huh? Okay. Witches, you see, were usually village elders and sages back in those days, conducting themselves with intelligence, dignity, and honor. So when a witch hunt begins, they were smart enough to hide their powers from public view, and as a result, ironically, the majority of them survived. But even after the ban on witchcraft was lifted, the memories of what happened remained, and the black arts continued to be socially shunned. Eventually, the powers of magic began to fade, and the witches feared that these powers passed from generation to generation throughout their long, proud history were in danger of being lost forever. So they began chronicling them on paper, in painstaking detail for all posterity. And that chronicle is right here, the Book of Shadows. Passed from one gifted mage to another, revised and appended countless times, a complete guide to witchcraft, detailing spells pertaining to all creation. You may have heard of Al-Azif, that infamous Lovecraftian grimoire that everyone says is just a work of fiction. But whenever this book comes up, even among researchers, people always debate whether or not it's real. They always admit it's a possibility. Oh, it's real, we see it. Supposedly, it contains a complete listing of white and black magic spells, all manner of lost arts, and even some forgotten acts of sorcery. As in, the complete dangerous kind of magic? It would be really dangerous in the wrong hands. That's why it was supposed to have been enshrined and kept under watch by the witches' descendants. So why is something like this here then? Tucked away in a hidden room in rural Japan? I don't know, but it's been a good half a century or so since anyone's been able to prove they laid eyes on it. And that's led many people to start doubting its existence. The quest rep suddenly picked up the book and began casually thumbing through it, as if she were looking up a word in the dictionary. Hey, is it really okay to be holding that? Much less opening it? Yeah, it can't hurt to take a quick look. Oh, you poor fool. The tome of its cover that seemed to have been stitched together from the hides of many different animals locked heavily in the quest rep's hands. She became instantly engrossed in its contents as she hungrily flipped through the pages one after another. As for me, all I could do was watch in awe as my very real friend and classmate lost herself in this very occult book in this very impossible place. As expected, the book was written not in Japanese, but in a mixture of French and what I could only assume to be magic runes of some sort. Isn't sketchy stuff like this usually written in Latin? As a high school student, I certainly couldn't read any of it, nor could the quest rep, but some pages had Japanese notes scribbled in the margins. Notes that were very possibly penciled in by Yoshi Shinozaki. I have no idea if there will be Japanese footnotes for it or not, but I'm betting if I look in the sorcery section. The gleam in her eye was one of desperation as she continues flipping through the pages. What was she doing? I was starting to get uncomfortably nervous about this whole thing. Eventually her legs must have gotten tired as she just sat down on the floor, but she continued paging through the Book of Shadows. Then finally she seemed to find whatever it was she was looking for. The sound of stretched skin flipping upon itself stopped, and she just stared. This is it. What is? Land of Corpses. A spell to open the door to the dead. I think this is what created Heavenly Host. There are notes all over it. There certainly are, but why was the whole page being crossed out like that? I don't know, maybe the spell failed? Maybe whoever was casting it seized up with fear partway through? But that doesn't matter at all. Look at this, Nagashima. Raising up corpses, a spell to resurrect the dead. That can't actually work, can it? Resurrecting the dead? It's just impossible. Are you still bound by common sense then? Have you forgotten where we are right now? We're in a place where common sense does not exist. I had to admit that was a good point. Reality as I knew it was far different now than it was when I woke up this morning. But is it really okay for us to do something like that though? I mean, ethically, won't we be, crossing a line humans aren't meant to cross? Are you scared? Of course I am! Huh? No, you're not just scared. You're also forgetting about all the people we lost. About what they've been going through. Think about Miss Yoi and Suzumoto and Shinohara and Morishi. All at their wits' end, suffering in that horrible place. Think about how painful their deaths were, and how their existence were erased from this world. Can you really accept that as reality? I know I sure can't. I'm betting the same is true for you. That's right, our friends were dead. They died, and we came here so we could do something about it. And if we didn't do this, nothing would change. They'd still be dead, no hope of ever hearing their voices again. Their faces eventually forgotten. Tears began welling up in my eyes. Oh boy, not again. I miss them so much, and I'd do whatever it took to get them back. If I could just see them again. If I could talk to Seiko even one more time. It's okay. It's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. We climbed our way out of the hell. We broke free from Heavenly Host. So let's follow our hearts now. If there's something we can do to fix this situation, then we have to do it. So come on, let's go. Okay. It didn't matter how improbable or even impossible this was. Even if there were only a 1 in a million chance, we had to take it. It was absolutely foolish of us not to try this. It was unnatural and unholy, and completely inadvisable. But as long as there was that slight possibility, this was something that just had to be done. We weren't about to give up without a fight after all. Damn right. Whoa! My god, this is long, and a lot of reading. My throat's getting sore from doing over an hour of reading, so just like last episode, I was hoping to wrap this up again today, but looks like the prologue's quite a long prologue. So we're gonna have to wrap this up in the next episode. So once again, thank you everybody for joining me and coming back to Quartz Party Book of Shadows. Hope you guys are enjoying this, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me. Have a nice day. Bye everybody.